Actually, it's not part of my script, but my feelings, when you sing the anthem hymn of Praise the Lord, it's like reminds me that how unity the church is. It's not just about, Brother Mark and I would like to let us, to feel because it's a special celebration in the Philippines, like that. But it also reminds me that community in the universal church is. We can celebrate, in a sense, everywhere. Because we like to share, as the entrance hymn will say, we like to share. Because we know that this is not just important for our history or for our own country or for our practice like that. Here we have some Chinese, also foreigners here. We share. We let people know that the church is so wide. There's some feasts that we celebrate may not in this place or this country, but also in other places, so that we also embrace the joy while we celebrate. Of course, as a Chinese, probably most of you know much more than Central New than me, the experience. But what I would like to share today is, when we read the Gospel today, talking about Mark, there's like a contradiction between the Pharisees and the people there. Pharisees, saying that they are very religious groups, the people. And once Jesus and his disciples asked the children, the young one, to come. First, it's true that because much of the nation's trouble, because they don't observe the laws always carefully enough. However, in the sense that even the disciples of Jesus, not allow the kids to come closer to Jesus. When Jesus asked the disciples to let the children to come forward, maybe the disciples had not a good feelings also. They don't like the idea. Probably it's not hard to guess why. Jesus' time and energy are too precious if to waste on children. The disciples have appointed themselves as like Jesus' guardians, trying to decide for Jesus whom he should and he should not see. But Jesus doesn't want to be minded like that. Jesus is indignant. The only time in all the Gospel that the word is used of Jesus, he is in a sense that if the disciples keeping the children away, don't hidden them, Jesus said. Jesus is saying that people like these children can enter the kingdom of God. Jesus, to encourage, to let the disciples by giving these parents more than they have asked. He doesn't just reach out a hand and touch the children. He even opens his arms to embrace them, place his hands on them, and bless them. So what does Jesus mean by receiving the kingdom of God like a little child? What way exactly does he mean that we must be children like a child? Probably the answer can be found in the previous chapter of Mark, chapter 9, when Jesus talks about something slightly different, which is leadership and humility. The little child here has a picture of weakness, the one who is the very last. A child does not have status, especially in Jesus' time. They don't have status, they don't have place in society. They are most likely need to ask for help. And they even cannot repay you for what you do for them. But Jesus said, you have to come to the kingdom like this. Probably we can see that the focus of the story can be expressed simply in 3 stages: promise, warning, and welcome. First, the promise. The kingdom is for people who will come with open hands. Disciples see them as people with nothing to offer or to add to the kingdom. Jesus looks at them and says, "This is just the point. The people I will welcome into the kingdom are those who come with nothing to offer, but are not ashamed to ask from me." So do not hide them. Let them to come forward. Second, the warning. Now Jesus invites the promise, "Come like a child, come with nothing, and I will let you in. But refuse to come like a children, and you will never enter it." You will see the Greek word a bit strong. Many people want to come to Jesus with something in their hands. They feel good about themselves, but in one way or another, they think that Jesus can offer them something extra. They come to Jesus like an adult to pay, bargain, or to negotiate. There is nothing that we can offer. We should come like children without status, even resources, or pretense. Third, the welcoming. Jesus takes the kids, the children, in his arms and hugs them in his heart. So different from many in Jesus' time. In Jesus' time, children really don't have a place. They don't have a right to say. They have nothing. It's just nothing. Who are the best for children? Insignificant nobodies, and very different from some people nowadays. Nowadays, of course, the culture is different, the society is different. We see children not the same as Jesus' time. But in the sense that let us also embrace the spirit of a child. In my office, I have some toys, a soft toys I put in quite high. It's a giraffe. So the kids, come to my office and always, this little kid, always want to point, until I get out from my chair and then grab the toy for him and then go and play. So it shows again, as a kid, of course he wants to play, he wants to have a soft toy. But the thing is, he doesn't want to ask. He's willing to ask. He wants that thing, then he'll keep asking, until an adult or someone to answer his call. Do we also have this kind of spirit or this faith in Jesus Christ? Are we willing to trust in him like a child? Not a child in the sense that know nothing, but the spirit of a child to able to ask for help, even though we need to wait, even though we don't know the time, even though we are not, in a sense, not too sure will he answer or not, like the child in my office. Or he doesn't know that when will I wake up or get up. So in the sense that also let us embrace the spirit of a kid, of a child. And this is more to bring us that we don't want to share. The kids also to share the joyfulness. Probably a lot of parents here, when we see our kids, even though how tiresome we bring them up, when they are little ones, to feed them, to worry about them. But in a sense, in our deep heart, probably we feel the joy, because kids also bring joy to us. As today we celebrate together as the Feast of Saint Elena, we bring joy together also. And thank you also for the culture to bring in this practice and healing practice to other nations also. Be so united. And please also embrace. It's not just about we bring things to the church to bring things to God. No. even though with empty hands, we bring ourselves, we offer ourselves, just like it is. We have nothing. God doesn't need anything. God has everything already. What He wants is us, every single, all of us. As we come here together to embrace Him, to let Him to help us, to let Him even to kiss us.